globally. This is a short profile of what the university is all about. So we have diversity is extremely important for us. We have students from 107 different countries, and we are a heavy graduate school with 6,000 plus students being at the master's level, out of which about around 3,000 are international students. So we are nearly at 48% international students, a very good and strong balance between the national and international students. Gender is also equally important at the university. Today we have 34% female students at the university, and something that we are consciously working on. What do we have to offer? Well, we have 32 master programs at the university. All of them are in English, and you can see it's a huge range of programs that you can choose from, right from the very traditional programs like computer science to the modern ones, where we are looking at sustainability and wind and a lot of other interesting programs. Within all these programs, you also have the choice of doing specializations. So that's something that our international and national students find very attractive about the university, is the opportunity to follow a study track or a specialization that they really would like to. Honors is also something that we have consciously built at the university as an elite track, and it's attached to all our 32 programs. What is new and what we are really going to introduce to you all today is the 1+2 industry track. So the what, why, and how of the 1+2 industry track is what we are going to be talking to you about, and that's what Katrina is going to present. And then, of course, we are here to answer any questions that you might have, both about the program, the university, or the admission process. Over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm here today to tell you about what this industry master program is. So to start off, it is an alternative path for you to obtain a master's degree where you combine academic studies with part-time work in a company. So here at DTU, the program is offered as something called the 1+2 model. This means that in the first year, you are a full-time student, like every other student with student grants. And then in the second and third year, you are now a part-time student while you're part-time working in a company for a minimum of 25 hours a week during a year. So this means that some weeks it could be a little less than 25, some weeks a little more. It just needs to be like on average 25 hours a week during the year. It's possible to switch from a regular master, a regular full-time master, to an industry master during the first year. And this is basically because when you are already when you're a full-time student, you are kind of already in the same first year here, completing the first year of the industry master. Because like I said before, the first year of the industry master, you are just a normal full-time student. So it's really easy for you during this year to switch over to an industry master if you find out this is actually something I really want to do. So this is a really easy transition. And especially for you international students, this first year of being a full-time student we see as really relevant because it gives you time to connect with other students, get this social environment, and especially also you get this full first year to actually find a company that is relevant for you to work in. And now I just want to dive a little more into the detail to this 1+2 model. So it's a 3-year structure where you complete 120 ECTS points. Like I said before, you have the first year of being a full-time student. You are studying alongside peers, so you're studying alongside regular full-time master students. You're receiving student grant in this first year, not in the second and third year, but in this first year you are receiving the student grants. You get to build a strong academic foundation and network, and especially this social aspect of it and social activities is like a really big thing in this first year. So you get to like really learn, dive into like this whole going to Denmark, and now you get to be a full-time student for a year. You must complete 60 ECTS points in this year to continue the program, which is like a standard year of full-time studying. Then we move on to the second and third year, where you are now part-time studying and part-time working in a company. So it's a mix of studies and a 25-hour paid work week in a company. So this is it's an average of 25 hours a week, which is a really important aspect because sometimes there will be exam periods and there will be times where you just have a lot of studying and a lot of work at DTU. So this is makes a lot of sense that you don't work 25 hours a week in these periods. And then in other periods when you don't have much study, like during the holidays, you will work more. So it's like balancing out during the year, and this is like flexible. You decide this between yourself and the company in collaboration. And then you get to apply the theory you learn in the studying directly into a professional setting into the company, which is something we know a lot of the current industry master students really like. This is a really big benefit for them. They really see it as more motivating that they can use it directly into their job. And you get to contribute to real innovation and sustainability projects in the company. So this was like some explanation about what the model is, and now I will explain to you a bit more like about the benefits for the students as we see it. So we have done some interviews with some of the current industry master students to get some insight into their experiences. And so these bullets, these points, this is stuff that they have actually said. So this is like their experiences, what they see as the benefits. So it's not just stuff we think, it's stuff we actually know to be true. So if you are considering combining your master's degree with a job, for instance, like a student job position, which we know a lot of people do, then you should really consider this industry master as a possibility, because you get to build a strong academic foundation while you apply the knowledge you have to solutions in the industry in your job. You get this flying start to your career, both academically and socially. You get a lot of social activities in the first year, also during the second and third year, but more like in your own terms, because you're not a full-time student anymore. So this is like how much you choose to participate. You get to gain experience from the job market while you're still studying, which especially for international students is just a really big benefit. It's a really strong entry point you get into the Danish job market, which we know for some international students can be a bit difficult because it just is different to get into a job market in a different country. It would be for me too to get into a job market in Spain or Germany. There's just some differences here, also for you guys, for everyone. So it will really help you build this professional network and a possibility, really increase your possibility to be able to stay in Denmark after you graduate, which we know quite a few international students want to do. This is also what we can hear from a lot of the current international industry master students. They really, I think all of those I talked to, they want to stay in the company that they are in when they graduate. And a lot of them also see it as a really big chance, really big possibility, because they are already so integrated into the company that it just makes perfect sense for them to stay there. Of course, we can't guarantee anything, but this is what the model kind of applies. This is what we kind of expect from it. So especially as an international student, you really get into the Danish job market with more ease. And you get this new practical understanding of your field. Like I said, the stuff you learn in DTU and studying, you can apply this directly into the position you have in the company and use this wide array, basically. And then you also can get inspiration on how to shape the rest of your studies in collaboration with the company. So if they have an idea for like a relevant track, direction that you can go in the company, then you together with the company can discuss what courses would be relevant for me to take them. And I just want to go into a bit further why this model is valuable for the international students. So this just really is a really good way for you to get into the Danish job market, because we know it's not always easy. So this is just a really great opportunity for you. We can especially hear this from the international students that we have talked to. They really see this as a model that it differs from being just a full-time student. Here you are integrated into the company. You are seen more as a full-time employee than just a student job. So you are just really like on the same level as the other employees, if that makes sense. And you can build a professional network in Denmark while studying, which is also very relevant for you say maybe when you graduate, being industry master, you maybe want to stay in your company for a few years, then you want to go and try something else in a different company. And then this professional network that you already have built up will just make it so much easier for you to go find another job because you already have connections that you got while you still being a student. And like I said, it just really increases, or at least it can increase your chances of staying in Denmark and working after graduation. So this just really is a really big benefit for the international students. And you learn the workplace culture while you're still studying and gain experience that these employers really value. Like I said before, if you want to go out and get another job afterwards, the fact that you now know how the culture is in a Danish workplace, because this can also really differ like from different countries. So the fact that you now have an idea what is going on in a Danish workplace is just really valuable for you and for the company. And yeah, now I just want to present to you some of the stuff that the current industry master students and the current companies that have employed industry master students, what they have told us like from their experiences and what they think of this whole model. So one of the companies said that we organize the study program in collaboration with the students so that we can jointly set the direction for the students' work or specialization in the company to great benefit for both. So this basically means that in collaboration with the company, you can like get the perfect profile for whatever direction you want to take in the company. So in like together with the company, of course, they don't decide it. It's a collaboration. It's completely up to you what you want to do. But if you want to stay in the company and go in this direction, then you can really talk to the companies about what courses and projects would be perfect for me to do in order to get this way where I want to go. So this is just a great benefit for both of you, because the company gets a sort of a perfect candidate that they have helped build, and you will get the exactly direction you want to go in the company. In order also probably increase your chances of staying there afterwards if you're just a perfect candidate for that role. Another company said we gain a newly graduated employee who is already fully integrated into the company, as the person has already been a part of the company for 2 years. So this means that when you graduate being an industry master and continue, we expect you to continue in the company afterward. You don't just start from scratch, like being a newly graduated person. You will build like on top of the experience you already have. So because you have been in the company for 2 years, you will build on top of that and have more responsibility, maybe also more salary. Can't guarantee that, but you will build on top of what you already have built up. Another company said that it requires planning and alignment of expectations with the student, but it's very manageable as long as both parties are committed. And yeah, this basically means that it does require more planning for you and the company together than just being a full-time student, because you have to talk about your schedule. When do I have courses? When am I going to be at work? So it just takes a bit more planning for you, but this is highly manageable as long as you both want it to work out. And I just want to present some of the stuff the industry master students have told us. One said, I feel very integrated into the company and can identify as an engineer or a consultant rather than a student assistant, increasing my motivation. So this basically means that, like I also said earlier, you are much more of a seen in the company as a full-time employee than being a student assistant. You just feel way more integrated as a part of the company because you're here 25 hours a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. So you spend a lot of your hours here, and you get really like into the company as seen integrated by the colleagues as well. And one student said there is a great deal of synergy between the courses and my work task, when what I learn in the courses can also be applied directly in my job, which significantly increases my motivation in my studies and makes the learning more relevant. So this specific student was, he was finishing his bachelor, and then he actually didn't really want to continue his master because he was tired of studying. He was like lacking motivation to continue. So it was this industry master opportunity that actually made him want to educate himself further, because he knew now the stuff I learn in the courses, I can use this directly into my company. And this just really made him so much more motivated, and the stuff he learns at the job he can also like use kind of at DTU, because it makes it much more relevant, and that he can see how what I'm learning actually is going to be used in real life. Another person said, I experienced increased responsibility, participation in important meetings and tasks, and a more substantial role than a typical student assistant. We know that some people compare this industry master position with a student assistant job, which we really want to highlight. There is a big difference because you're way more in the company and you get way more responsibility. At least this is what we hear from basically all of the current industry master students. They get way more responsibility. They get included way more in the important meetings and just feel way more integrated in the company. So it really is a big difference from being a student assistant. Another person say that an industry master, however, not the easy way to obtain a master's degree, meaning that it's not the easy way out. So you shouldn't, it takes dedication, but you gain a lot of experience, which means that you shouldn't do this because you think it sounds easy. It takes dedication from you and the company, but this is highly manageable if this is what you're like motivated to do. And that being said, all of the industry master students I've talked to, none of them regret their decision. They all think that it has really good benefits, but it's just to point out that you shouldn't do it if you think it just sounds like the easy way to get a master.
Yes.
And now Vanita will take over.
Yeah, lovely. Katrina has motivated us in a very good way, and she's right. This is, as any of DTU's other programs, it is a model where you have to be motivated, and it is a model where you should be prepared to walk the extra mile and work a little more hard to try and balance your work along with your studies. Now, how do you really apply for the industry master program? So typically the admission requirements are the same that you have for your normal master programs that you apply at the university. So you have to meet all the admission requirements that we normally have. But additionally, you also need to have a job to pursue this structure of studies. And with this, of course, having said that, you don't need to have the job from day one, because the first year of your studies, you're going to be a full-time student. So what is important is that you focus on getting admitted to the university, and then you have time enough to settle down, and you have time enough to find a job, and then shift to the +2 model after having finished your first year of full-time studies. So you have time to submit your job employment document that we require. Now, the deadline for applying to the master programs at DTU is the 1st of March. There is no extended deadline, so there's just one deadline. If you're interested, you're welcome to apply. We still got a good month ahead. And of course, the employment document, although I've said 1st August here, it means 1st August 2027. That would be relevant for you as a student for the +2 track. The application portal is relatively simple at the university. It's an online portal. It's called Dance, and then you just have to upload all your documents there. We have relevant videos on how do you upload documents. If you have challenges, you're always welcome to get in touch with the admissions team. We are here to help you out. Oh, yes, and that brings us to the last slide where you have my contact details, you have Katrina's contact details, and you're welcome to get in touch with either both of us, and we will be very happy to guide you through the next steps. So over to you, Luke, because Luke has a lovely video that we have made about this program that I'd like to share.
Yes, I just want to mention before we start the video, you can actually click on captions at the bottom, and you'll be having subtitles as well if you want that.